Today, this candid conversation is really just for me.
Oh, really?
So I want to talk to you about this. There are things in all of our lives that just really annoy us. Certain things that just really grate on us. But there are better ways to handle them than I often do. So, you know, when I learn a few things, I find out that I can handle this. And then I slide back into that pit of being so annoyed again. So I would love to hear, what are some of the things that really annoy you? What are some of the annoyances that you deal with? And how do you respond in a more positive way?
Oh, Ginger, there's nothing that annoys me. I've overcome all.
And see, I'm instantly annoyed now.
Right, see, now you're annoyed that I'm not annoyed. Okay, well, we'll just have some fun with this. Probably the thing that annoys me the most is people who don't do what they say they're going to do and who don't communicate that they're not going to do it. I can't tell you how often, like at our house, we'll have a repairman that's supposed to be coming at a certain time to do something, and they don't show up, and they don't call. And here, you've stayed home. I mean,
Right, you've rearranged your life.
And today, that just happens way, way, way too often. And everybody's excuse is always, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got busy." Well, then you shouldn't be taking more business than what you can handle, and handle it with integrity.
Right.
And
Integrity, that's the big word, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
like you said, just communicate it. Just give us a call and let us know.
give me a call, let me know. You know, today I think greed really causes most people to take on more than what they can handle properly. And, you know, we love our doctors, but even, I mean, thankfully I'm not dealing with anybody like that now, but in the past there have been times when there was one doctor that I used to go to a long time ago, and it would be anywhere from 2 hours, 45 minutes was like a small wait. You know, why not leave a few minutes in between appointments, so if you go over a little bit, you know, it's like do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So
let me ask you then, you're sitting in that waiting room and you are so annoyed because you've been there over 2 hours.
Right.
And it is going to happen.
Right.
It is going to happen. So how do you handle that annoyance in a better way and get through it?
Well, I usually have to repent after I've not
That's
handled
valid,
it good.
yeah.
And really the answer, I think, comes down to I'm just going to have to get a different provider. You know, I'm not going to
make a choice at that
I'm not
point.
going to keep dealing with this. And I've kind of come to that point with business people. It's like, if that's the way you do business, then I don't want to do that, because I'm just inviting the devil to aggravate me all the time. Now, obviously, if somebody can't help it, you know, then we need to be gracious and we need to walk in the fruit of the Spirit, and we always need to walk in the fruit of the Spirit. But, you know, walking in the fruit of the Spirit doesn't mean you let people take advantage of you all the time. And, of course, I am a communicator, and so usually if we're strong in an area, it really frustrates us if somebody else is weak in that area. So I have to keep that in mind. I'm a bottom line person. So it's like, if I ask you a question, please give me the answer the shortest way you can. You know, I only want to know the bottom line. Did you get it fixed? Not, you know, how you fixed it and, you know, where you had to go to fix it, you know. And so I have a tendency to get annoyed with people that are extremely detailed. And that's one that I have to work on and take responsibility for, because they can't help being detailed any more than I can help being, like my husband is real detailed. And so if he'll start to tell me about a movie, oh, I watched this movie last night, and I just feel like it takes forever for him to tell me what was the movie about.
You've seen the whole movie by the time the conversation is over.
So, you know, God puts us with people that are not like us for the purpose of giving us practice on this fruit of the Spirit.
Yeah.
Another
Patience.
another thing that annoys me are little nitpicky continuous noises. And so I was recently somewhere writing for a couple of weeks, and a part went out in the refrigerator. They couldn't get the part for a while. And so about every 2 minutes, the refrigerator would go click, click, click. 2 more minutes, click, click, click. And I was, and it was not
Just
that
grates
far,
on you.
it wasn't that far away from where I was writing. And so I got to go, okay, Lord, somehow or another, you're going to have to help me just ignore this and not pay attention to it. So what about you? What annoys you?
So one of the things that I find really difficult, and it's similar to some of the things that you've been talking about, but I like to make excuses for this annoyance, but I'm such a justice person, right?
Yes.
I want people to do what's right,
Right.
and to do what's fair. And so when I believe something isn't right and fair, then my instant reaction is to fight back, and I'm very annoyed at the circumstance.
Gonna make you do what's right.
Exactly. And so the bad thing of all of that is then I often respond in a way that is, not helping the situation.
Right.
It's more of an argument than a de-escalation or whatever. So that's one of those things. Like, for instance, if something says that it should be on sale, it should be on sale. And if I go up, exactly, if I go up and it's not really on sale, the sign was in the wrong place or whatever, then I don't do well with that. Now, I have learned a lot, and I've come a long way over the years, because I do understand that people move signs and mistakes happen. So, like you said, I just have to pray and breathe first and take a beat.
Remember who we represent.
Take a moment.
Out representing Jesus.
Exactly. And this is something that my daughters will still talk about, because I embarrassed them so many times when they were little. So I really am over that. I'm so much better with that. But there are still those things when something's not right, when someone doesn't treat someone else the way that they should, when someone doesn't follow certain things that should be done.
I have a daughter that's one of those justice people, and she's like, she wants everything to be fair.
Right.
And it's just not.
It just isn't.
It just isn't. That's
so you
just
have
all
to
there
let
is
that
to
go.
it. And God is a God of justice. And so he wants us to turn those things over to him, and then he makes wrong things right.
Yeah.
Something that annoys me is mean people.
Oh, yes. Me too.
And it annoys me so bad that there are certain TV shows that I like the plot and I would enjoy the show, but if one of the characters plays like this mean, sarcastic person, eventually I just can't watch the show. And I know that's because my dad was like that, and I just can't. I can't handle it. It's like, just don't be mean. The world is mean enough without people being mean.
I agree.
And so
now, what you just said, though, we've talked a little bit before, that recognizing where it stems from, recognizing those triggers, that's probably really helpful in handling some of those situations, to be able to say, no, I know why I'm reacting this way.
All bad fruit has a root.
Yeah.
And if you can find the root, it can help you deal with the problem. But some of these things that we're talking about, it's like, it's not right. It's not right for people to not show up for appointments. It's not right for them not to communicate. And so, since we can't make them change, the only thing we can do is ask God to help us behave the right way. I'm sure Jesus ran into, he ran into injustice all the time.
All the time.
And
I'm sure those disciples were so annoying to him at times.
Well, yeah, he's trying to tell them he's getting ready to go to Jerusalem, and all the suffering he's going to go through, and they're arguing about which one of them is the greatest. And so, when you see, the patience that he had with them. So we do have to understand. And then, there's the factor, too, if you're a Christian, and, like you and I, we've been Christians for a long time. We've been in the Word for a long time. And so, we may be able to handle ourselves differently than maybe somebody who's only been saved for a week. And so we have to have understanding of where people are coming from and you know, where they're at. And so
Show a
really,
little mercy and grace.
and I guess the bottom line we have to admit is no matter what somebody does, it doesn't give us a right to do the wrong thing. Two wrongs never make a right.
Yeah.
So God always expects us to, what does he say, love your enemies, pray for those who mistreat you and treat you unjustly. And so, but we all do have things that annoy us. And so there you have it. You have my
I appreciate it.
open conversation about what annoys me.
I love it. And I'll actually take all the help I can get, because you're right. It can be as big as someone mistreating someone else, or as small as a reoccurring noise that we
Right.
cannot get away from. But how we react to it is up to us.
But I will say this, there's not nearly as many things that annoy me as there used to be. So,
So that's
thank
very
God
promising.
I'm not where I
Yeah.
need to be, but I'm not where I used to be. I'm making
Yeah.
progress.
Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate it.